Chess.com is here with the lone grandmaster in the U.S. Women's Championship, Irina Krush, who just won as black today against Maggie Thang. It was a heavy piece end game or middle game? What's the right terminology for that?
Yeah, I thought of it as an end game.
And you don't get those very often in chess. Did you kind of like the fact that your queen and rooks, I mean, they seemed like they were sort of going in circles until they found their way to pay dirt.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like such an easy position to win. I think only black is trying to win there, so when I went for that, I was very comfortable with that pawn sack on a6 and trading the bishops to get that. But, you know, it was tricky to win just because, you know, she keeps defending. She's got 3 pieces, too, and she keeps defending those weaknesses on b2, d4, and f4. So, you know, finally the game just got very sharp when she decided to change the character of the position by sacrificing one of her extra pawns.
Yeah, when she played f5, did that disturb your equanimity a little bit?
Yeah, not really. I mean, I thought it was an interesting move. I thought the position suddenly became a lot more interesting. Definitely, there were some, you know, I was trying to attack the king. I realized I had to try to use my extra 2 pawns on the king side to get an attack on the king. But at the same time, there was actually quite a bit of risk to black as well. I mean, because the d pawn, it was only 3 moves away from queening. So, but I think probably at the minimum, black should have a draw there.
Well, let's pivot and move out a little bit. It was about 3 years ago that you were right here, and you held up a sign that said number 7. You were trying to get to 10 U.S. Women's Championships. You haven't had one in a couple of years. Do you kind of appreciate that it's more of a struggle these days than it used to be?
Yeah, you know, actually now you really see, wow, you know, winning 4 in a row was pretty hard because it's not easy to win even 1 in a row, you know. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not surprising. You know, there's a kind of two trends, right? Which is that like the field has gotten stronger, and I have gotten worse. You know, so that makes it much tougher, obviously. You know, yeah.
Yesterday, Anna Zatansky was on the commentary, and she said, you know, me and Irina, we're not going to play forever. So my question to you is, who do you think is going to take up the mantle of being the top 2 women? I mean, I know Jennifer Yu has the highest FIDE rating when you go down the list, but who impresses you the most here that you think might make a career out of chess like you have?
Actually, you know, well, I mean, the girls are getting much better. I mean, your question is very hard to answer. I think that they would really have to answer for themselves, like, because I don't know who's interested in making a career out of chess. You know, that's really the question. I mean, I'm sure if someone wants to spend, you know, years kind of on their game and not doing other things, then there are definitely some girls here who could do that. But it's a big question whether someone, you know, has that, you know, motivation, because it's quite, you know, it's quite a sacrifice. You know, yeah.
Well, this is the pattern in American chess. We have so many teenage girls that get to 22 or 2300 seemingly effortlessly, and then they move on and they almost all choose academics. So what could be done to change that?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's you got to get really good, really young, you know, and that way you actually open up that path for yourself because you're able to make that decision while you're still young. You know, like if you're 18 and then it's really just not clear, you know, probably the safe choice is to choose, you know, academics. And but if you're like a GM at 15, for example, could be doable, right? Then, I mean, you're much more likely to consider chess as a career. So I think that's really the answer.
And finally, we're going to change gears completely. In 2015, we were both at the same event in Malta to become a TV show. It's finally out on Amazon, Checkmate. So for those of you that have Amazon Prime, go check it out. Have you seen yourself on camera, and are you comfortable with it?
I have not seen it. Is it terrible? I don't know.
Well, I'm on the show just a little bit, but no, it depicts, you know, the beautiful island of Gozo. Yeah. But you didn't have your best tournaments. I don't think you were the focus of the story. But are you going to go watch it now?
Well, you know, actually, Malta was definitely one of the best trips I've ever taken. It was just a beautiful place, and I'm very happy I got to visit it due to that show. Yeah.
And what about Batumi? Have you ever been there?
I've been to Batumi, I guess, several times now, so I'm pretty familiar with where the Olympiad is going to take place. And, you know, Georgia has great food.
You speak a little Georgian. Are you going to be kind of responsible for helping the team out in that regard?
You know, I think people can get by with Russian there. I mean, you know, so I think my Russian would probably be more useful than my Georgian. But I mean, okay, in a restaurant, I could decipher the menu.
Well, udachi the rest of the tournament.
Thank you, Mike.